Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. It's Tracy. So this is a little video I decided to do to review the new Poundland yarn that's part of their streamers range, and it was this one. I was quite intrigued by it because at first I didn't realise how closely it resembled another yarn, but then it dawned on me a little while ago, and I wanted to see what it looked like when it was made up. So I did a little swatch. Well, the thing that kind of struck me about it was these colours. They're quite bold, aren't they? And it wasn't until I started to get stock together for my upcoming shop. I've got an online shop coming up, and it's not quite finished yet, but we're getting there. And I ordered some Karen yarn called Camo, and they had several to choose from, but I did choose the blue, the black and a pink. Well, the pink on the Camo for Karen Simply Soft is much lighter, but it works up like camouflage. And it wasn't until I started to make my swatch with this that I realised that it kind of worked up very much like camouflage with a bit of pink in it. And so I'll tell you a bit about the yarn first. It is part of the Knitting Essentials Streamers range, and now they have purple, blue, bold, bright colours, which I do have some in here somewhere. Hang on. This one. They have the original brights and a pink one, which I have used for a mile a minute on my channel before. So it's quite soft. It's really nice to work with. It has a sturdier feel, this one. I don't know why, but it does. Now, I'm not wondering what I can see on this yarn band. They don't often print very much. So it's called Pink Brown. It's machine washable. Just looking to see, because they did start putting a little bit more on here. 50-gram ball, usual stuff. I'm wondering if they have any yardage. They haven't put it on up until now, but no, I can't see that. What's this? No, just all the dye lot stuff. So yeah, pink, brown, and that's all they've got. So this is the one that I've been working on. As I said, it's got this sturdier feel than a lot of yarns, but it's not rough. You'd have it next to your skin, but it just feels like it's, I say stiffer, but not rougher, if that makes any sense. Probably not. So I decided to make a swatch, and I did it using a half treble, which is over in the US a half double. So these are DK weight yarns, so that's a 3-weight yarn. It's quite a good size strand. Here we are. Look, there's the strand. It's not thin. It's a pretty good representation, I think, of a DK. And some of them are quite thin, some of them are not. It's weird how they're not standard, but there you go. So this was my swatch, and as you can see, it kind of works up like camouflage. I quite liked it, I must admit. Now this was using the half treble. I didn't do all the other stitches because I figured this is a medium-sized stitch, and you'd probably get the best representation of what the patterning comes up like if I did a medium-sized sort of kind of stitch, whereas if I did the smaller stitch, it would just be this but on a much smaller scale, and the larger stitch again. But this one, I thought you'd get a good look at what happens. So the only difference I can see between this and the Karen Camo is that the Karen Camo has subtler colours, that's all. But it will be a similar effect, I would have thought. Now, if I show you, quite often when you see it like this, you can't get a visualisation of how quick the colour changes happen. And at first glance, I thought, when I saw it on the yarn band, on the yarn all balled up, that it looked like quite a chunk of it would be one particular colour because of the way it's kind of wound here. Now that looks quite a long stretch of colour, doesn't it? But in actual fact, it really isn't. I'll get some out and we'll have a look. We'll get a bit more because otherwise it might dangle in my tea, and we don't want that, do we? So there you are. There's the beige aspect, and then it goes into this darker colour. I like the way that it kind of goes in a gradual way. Obviously the pink looks like a quick transition because it is bright, but when you see it, that there is your colour change. So you will get, depending on the stitch you do, between 3 to just about 2, 1.5 stitches. So with the half treble, I got almost 3 stitches before it changed. So sometimes 2.5, because obviously it has a knock-on effect to the next pairings, if you like. With a single crochet, which is a double over here, we would probably get about 3 stitches or maybe 4. With a treble crochet over here, which is a double in the US, you probably just get about 1.5 to 2. But there we go. That's how far you'll get. See what I mean about that ombre effect in between? I like that. It's not like wham, there you go, colour change. So that's how far the colour changes are apart. I found this yarn really, really nice to work with. I had intended for the first time ever to show you a knitted swatch as well as a crocheted swatch. I know not everybody knits, but some of you do, and it can, obviously the stitches are smaller, but I couldn't find my needles at this point. I've got so much stuff here, and the only ones I could find were these, and unlike many of you, I cannot get on with these. I just can't get on with these. I've tried, but where I'm sitting working, because I work holding I kind of hold it like this, and then the wool loops around this finger, and I do this. Well, this thing, I just want to keep knitting with it, and it gets in the way. It's either up here tickling me, or, and I'm aware that this is probably not the most luxurious set. You see, it's really annoying, isn't it? I mean, I just wanted to yank it away, and no, they're not for me. Unless this is completely drapey, I cannot do it. If it's a cord and it's drapey, that might be a different kettle of fish, but these were the only ones I had at my disposal, and I just could not get on with them. I don't really like the fact that I've got a stitch that's a certain size, and then it's going to go on this thin kind of cord anyway. It just doesn't seem right to me. I will have a go at some better quality ones and see how I get on, but right this moment in time I don't have any. So I was doing a swatch, but I couldn't persevere and I undid it. But I did want to show you what a swatch would look like if it was knitted up, because obviously the stitches are much smaller, and it would have been a completely different picture. But this is how it looks. I quite like it, and I'm aware of the fact that on camera there's a little bit of me in there. Look at that. On camera it's going to look different than it does actually in the flesh. The lights will show the colours in a different way, but it is actually pretty cool. I like it, I have to say. Yeah, I wasn't sure when I first saw the colours. And when you look at the yarn on the ball, you think, well, it is kind of an odd combination in a way, having the bright pink. But yeah, it's cool. So maybe, what would you work with this? What would you make, should I say, if you had some of this? What would you want to make with something like this? I think it'd look okay if you're making, from my point of view, I would maybe do some fingerless gloves and make a nice hat. But what larger projects do you think you could work with this yarn? Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe, everyone. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.